I am so excited today to be at the office of our very own Miss Robin Wilson Carrier of Robin Wilson Interior Designs. We're downtown at your design studio, and we've had you on the show for quite a few months now, and it's so exciting to get an interior design feel. And we really need to break down for people what interior design is, which is what we're going to do today. But Robin, why don't you tell us a bit about your background and how you got started and what the company is all about?
Well, we are a boutique interior design firm that works both in interior and exterior design. We specialize in single-family residential as well as multifamily residential, and we've also worked in art and museums.
And I have learned from you, since knowing you these few months, that interior design is so much more than just picking some color swatches and adding some furniture. So let's really break it down for everybody. What do interior designers do, both here at your firm and in general? What's the industry about?
Well, thank you for asking, Jordan. It's very important because we are really from beginning to end. And so it's important that we're brought in early on, not at the end when we think, oh, let's pick out the fabrics and the furniture. We really want to work with the foundation of the space, working with the consultant team, the architect, and the landscape architect. Now, that doesn't mean that it has to all be new construction. We also do remodels as well.
Perfect.
But we are working really with the allocation of space to make sure that it follows the function of your lifestyle.
So we talked off camera a bit about your being involved in the foundation of the project, the fixtures and finishes, and we're going to walk through all of those right now. So starting with the foundations, how is an interior designer involved in that process? Allocating space, using it for your lifestyle, what does that really mean for the homeowner?
Well, first of all, we like to start by having an interview with our client to make sure that we understand what they want as the end result.
And sometimes they don't even know, right?
Exactly. So we'll try to incorporate some mood images so that people will say, oh, I like this or I don't like this. It's just as important to understand what you don't like as much as you like.
Exactly.
But also how you live. So, what are your storage needs? What are your needs for entertaining? Do you have children? Those types of things. So that's really critical that we evaluate all of that before we even start. And then we start on a big picture to say, okay, aesthetically, what are we looking for?
Right.
And then we boil it down to the space to say how best to use the space. And really where that's critical, we'll do an initial furniture plan. Doesn't really matter at that point what the furniture is, but we want to make sure that we've allocated lighting and electrical in the correct spot. You may have a sofa where you want to have a reading lamp. Well, we don't want to drag an extension cord over to this space.
So it's really making sure that the function of the house works for the homeowner and their lifestyle, what they need.
Absolutely.
So once you've narrowed down sort of the foundational elements of where things need to be, you go into finishes, and that's where these mood boards really come into play.
Yeah, so we'll start with the mood board to get an overall feel. We'll also do a collection of finishes as well as fabrics to make sure that we're headed down the right path. Even though the fabrics are not important at this time, it helps create a picture of a palette. And once we get that nailed down, and at the same time looking at the function of the space, we'll start to develop the design, and we'll get more into details along the way, both technically looking at our construction documentation and making sure that we might even have to do a 3D study to say, does this fireplace, is it too big for the space, is it too small for the space? Taking into consideration not only the dimensions, width and length, but also height. Ceiling height plays a big role. We might want to add in some ceiling details, beams, coffered ceilings, and then we'll look at how lighting lays out with all of those architectural elements.
And that's where everything comes to play. That's where what you see is what you had said off air.
Exactly.
That's where everything comes together in what the homeowner is physically going to see in their home. They might not see that back-end cabinet construction, but they will see the face. They will see what is going to be reflected to their guests in their home.
Well, and thank you for mentioning, because we also will design the cabinetry, and we'll look at, so let's say it's your kitchen. How do you cook in your kitchen? What do you need to store? What equipment do you use? And then certainly recommend the appliances and how we might need to detail the cabinetry to fit those appliances. Your closet, how many shoes do you have? How do you want to hang your clothes?
Too many shoes, I'll tell you that.
You can never have too many shoes.
Well, saying appliances really brings us right down to the furnishings of the home. That's the last step in this interior design process. That's everything down to the throw pillow, right?
Absolutely. So we'll start with some of the bigger, longer lead time items. So we can design custom furniture. We also work with various manufacturers so that we can customize it to your needs, whether it's a long sectional or multiple chairs in a movie theater in your home. Do you need cup holders? Those types of things. Also with special fabrics so that it really is customized to your style. We
Down
also
to the final details.
Yeah, window treatments, artwork, accessories, bedding, custom bedding.
I love it. Down to the final accessories, like I said, that very last throw pillow, all the way from the very start of the foundation, whether it's your new construction or remodel. You should call someone like Robin Wilson Carrier from Robin Wilson Interior Designs, 619-500-2144, and involve them in the process really early on. Back to you guys in the studio.